Everything on this side, beside us, is live still, so we have to be careful because we're working around live cables. Anthony, can you unhook the rope that's stuck on the switchboard there? I'm Tammy, I'm 23, an electrician and general manager at TTS Electrics. I reckon I'm going to need the 8-foot steps here anyway. That's fine. As general manager, I've had to quickly learn how to be assertive. It doesn't matter where it goes in this board because we've got to get around a few things, not like the other board where it was straight in. We work so close together, we know so much about each other, so we're just like one big family here. I was never into schoolwork, I never wanted to go to school, so being hands-on every day was what I wanted to do. Learning the trade, learning how to use tools, I thought was going to be so beneficial for the rest of my life. My biggest challenge when I started doing the managing was confidence. Obviously being so young, I was a bit worried that people wouldn't take me seriously, so I've had to learn to be confident very quickly.
Hey folks, Ash from Woodwork and Whiskers. Welcome to the Monday Meetup. I'm here with Tammy Voss, otherwise known as Sparky Voss, I think, on Instagram. Yeah. Thank you for coming along.
Happy to be here.
We've been planning this for a little while, but it's always difficult to get them lined up. So, you are the General Manager of TTS, family-run business. I'm assuming that Andrea and Alan, the directors, are your parents?
That's correct.
Good guess, Ash. Was there a degree of pressure to join a family business?
Surprisingly, no. I actually approached them. I have an older brother, so he didn't really go into the business at all, and I saw it as an interesting avenue for myself. So I approached them and asked them if I could join the family business because I know it was going to change the dynamic completely within the family and the business.
Yep.
And yeah, once we got in, it worked really well. So yeah.
And at what point early on did you decide Sparky was the way to go?
I didn't really commit to the idea until around year 11. I helped Dad on the weekends when I was a kid sorting nuts and bolts in a shed and doing all the hands-on stuff, but being exposed to the trade as a woman, you didn't think it was an option until, in year 11 I started looking at what I wanted to do at the end of school and thought that if I took up a trade early and qualified myself, it was a great opportunity to use that, and if it didn't work out, I could still go back and study when I was 21 as a mature age student.
Sure. So you're the general manager.
Yes.
How did that come about, and what does it mean to you? What's a day in the life of a general manager look like?
Busy. So I took over about 5 years ago. Unfortunately, my dad fell ill and couldn't run the business anymore.
Right.
It was a bit easier for me to step into that role because I was still communicating with Dad, and it was just me managing it from home, but sometimes going to work. So
yep.
I was getting thrown into the deep end very quickly. I didn't know much about
baptism
anything.
of fire.
Completely, like learning invoicing on the fly, learning clients on the fly, really just giving it everything, making mistakes as I went as well, of course. But yeah, as I've gone through the last 4 or 5 years, I think I've definitely improved on that. And now I'm in the office more than I am on the tools, which is good and bad. You love being on the tools. Taking phone calls, quoting, invoicing, managing clients, managing staff, all the fun stuff that comes with being a manager.
And so, what gets you up in the morning? Have you got a real passion for this trade?
Yeah, I joined the trade because I love the hands-on side. So I guess becoming a manager, it's been a really complex change of passion and working out what it actually means for me about being in the office and not being on the tools. My passion now is the company and making sure everyone enjoys what they're doing. My family is successful, everyone in the business is successful, and we are proud of the company we are, and we can keep running it that way. So that's kind of how I had to shift from being a Sparky and loving the hands-on stuff to finding passion within actually, in the office. And
so how long has the actual business been in existence?
18 years.
18 years, wow.
Yeah.
And that's always been based down on the Bellarine Peninsula?
Yeah, so we were in Lara first, and then we've moved over to just another area of Geelong, and we've expanded into a workshop. It used to be running out of the back shed. So as we grew, we've expanded as well.
Okay. The building industry in particular, it's been well documented pretty much since COVID of the soaring costs to the point where unfortunately there's been several businesses go under as a result. Have you seen those impacts in electrical as well?
Yeah, lighting manufacturing has really taken a toll, and one of our biggest jobs is emergency and exit lighting repairs, and they come with chips in them, and we've had delays of 8 to 12 months on products. So
Wow.
things that would usually be a 4-week turnaround, we weren't seeing them for 12 months, and some of them are still a 6-month blowout at the moment. Yeah, it's really taken a toll. It's hard to manage your projects if you're not knowing when your stuff's going to come.
Yeah, so that would have been quite an adjustment, I guess, to lead times, etc., for getting materials.
Yes, and then explaining that to clients, and you know, there's not much you can't control the situation at all, so you've got to just give the best explanation possible.
Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, you're primarily commercial work?
Yes.
Is that by choice or?
Yeah, so the business started, my dad started as just a test and tag business for himself when he was starting the business out, and then he's a qualified Sparky by trade, so he expanded that business into commercial maintenance, and that's kind of where we've been over the 15-year journey or 17-year journey. And yeah, we just take on small projects, little residential things here and there, but mainly commercial in the maintenance area.
Okay, the big question that everyone barks on about, the tool of choice, what is it?
As in the brand?
As in the brand.
Oh goodness, pressure.
Which team are you on?
I am Team Milwaukee, and I have been since day one, so...
Team Red.
Oh yes, I love my Milwaukee stuff.
I have to say, and Johnny, Life of a Maintenance Plumber, when I did him, I think he hit the nail on the head when he said that with Milwaukee there's just so many more options for plumbers, for Sparkies, with the range that they have.
Yeah.
And I think that's fairly accurate.
Yeah, completely. They've really tailored towards specialised industries and specialised tools for your trade. So I think that has helped over the years, as well as bringing their 12-volt range that's extremely light. Like, it's perfect for Sparkies. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm clearly Team Blue,
Yep.
but my biggest bear bug, if you like, is the lack of options.
Yeah.
So I'm currently looking at a second platform at the moment, not because I particularly want to, but
you have to.
But I have to as far as options go. So, at the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you've got 3 apprentices?
We've got 2, or we've had 1 just qualify. So we're at 1 at the moment with 1 freshly qualified. So yeah, a bit of a shift.
How do you go about setting a learning pathway for the apprentices?
It's been hard through COVID, actually, just trying to even get the exposure or experience for them. We do 6 monthly performance reviews with them, and we talk about what they want to learn. If we're not giving them enough, how or what options there are for them to actually learn something different. We've sometimes set up little experiments, or you'd say boards in the workshop, so you can just talk through stuff. As well as talking to the A grades and making sure they're giving them the learning that they want as well. So it's all just a bit of open communication as they go through their apprenticeship to make sure they're hitting the mark they want to hit, and if they're not, looking at options for them. Sure.
So how many in the team in total?
We're I think there's maybe 8 or 9 at the moment. We've got the test and tag side, which is run by my mum, and she's got a casual base in there, and then there's the 3 or 4 of us that are in the electrical at the moment. I like to class myself as an electrician, but obviously I'm in the office as well, so...
You've got the qualifications, so...
Depends if you count me or not.
Okay, how competitive is the electrical industry?
Very. I find it very competitive. And a lot of people have already got the one that they want, so a lot of builders have already got that one Sparky that they want to work with. So trying to break into that, or trying to show why you're worth it over somebody else, is really hard until you actually get that opportunity. So word of mouth is huge, and then, just being able to perform on jobs is,
Yeah, I certainly sense that, having had a fair bit to do with the building industry. Yes, they very much have their favourites, and I think, well, it's a bit like anything. It's a bit like when you find a decent mechanic.
Yeah.
You tend
Why
to
change?
Exactly right. So I can understand that. Are you doing any studies at the moment?
I was studying through COVID, but my course was cut short because of COVID and lack of numbers. I was studying a diploma in project management, but yeah, it was cut short. I'm not sure if I'm going to study this year. I'm doing a bit more travel now the world's open, and then I'll probably consider it again next year. Yeah.
I guess, it probably is it an industry where techniques, etc., change on a regular basis?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think we've had people come in from different companies. They're already learned. They teach us different techniques with the advancement of tools and the advancement of like inventions that you can use on site. It changes the way you do things. So it's continually learning about that, and standards are always changing and being updated. So you really need to be on top of all that stuff as well.
Yeah, I guess standards could be a real headache.
Yep. Yeah, they can be. You need to know them, but they can be.
Yeah. So, you've been a strong advocate for women in trades. How do you see that focus going? Are we making any progress in terms of both numbers of females taking up a trade and the work environment catering for females?
I think it's definitely changed. I've been 8 or 9 years in the industry now, and when I first started, it was like so unheard of, you know, and it was such a shock to everyone, and there was basic amenities for females within the trade, even with workwear or like stuff on site.
Yep.
It is definitely getting better, even in the last 2 or 3 years, seeing the government incentive to help women get into trade, going to talk to schools, just the exposure you can get on social media. It's definitely working. There's still a long way to go, obviously.
Did you do a bit of that school talks and stuff?
Yeah. So I do it down in Geelong. I speak to a few schools there and just talk about it and encourage it and let them know it's actually a pathway and it's not frowned upon. And I think that all helps, and I think it's definitely changing.
And here we go, school talk number 1, Mountain Creek. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Tom Bennett here with us, doing some video work.
Finally.
What a day here on the Sunshine Coast.
My biggest challenge when I started with managing was confidence. I was really so young, I was really worried about being taken seriously.
I think it's awesome, quite frankly. Why shouldn't females be in the trade? You know,
Exactly.
it's a ridiculous notion to suggest that they can't be. Crazy stuff. But I'm glad to hear that you feel that there is some progress being made. I think on social media, you tend to get exposed to a lot of the negatives as opposed to the positives. And, you know, I think the more we can hear about the positives, the more kids are going to consider doing it.
Completely.
Okay, so you've been quite open on social media about your struggles with mental health. Why do you feel that it's important to be open about it? And tell me about your association with Trademutt.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important because growing up you saw so much of people on social media living an amazing life, and it was hard to balance living an amazing life when you might be struggling behind the scenes. So as soon as you open up and be a little bit more vulnerable, the amount of people that come to me and say, oh, thank you so much, like I'm feeling exactly the same and I didn't know how to express it. This has just helped me a little bit understand that even though you might be doing amazing things or people think you're really doing really well, that there's another side to it as well, and that the more conversations we have, the easier it can be for everyone. Of the people around you, and yeah, I just think it's a good chance to show that it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to have some bad days, but pick each other up again. I hope as well it's just a little bit of an insight and reminder to you guys that what you see on Instagram or the smiles you see are not always what's going on behind the scenes. So just be mindful. I am feeling better, and that's why I felt like I could share with you guys that I had been struggling. I just put it out there just so hopefully if somebody else is struggling, they don't feel so alone in sharing that, and can also reach out for help. But yeah, and with Trademutt, I just love what these guys stand for. We did the charity event 2 years ago now and raised 17 grand for TTS.
Oh yes, I did see that,
Yeah, so we walked from Port Campbell to Torquay to raise money and also raise awareness for people that are supporting people with mental health struggles, because I feel like that's a little forgotten part of the industry. So worked alongside Trademutt, raised a good amount of money for TTS, and yeah, hopefully helped some people with the conversation. Have you ever witnessed a loved one go through a mental breakdown? We're here to start that conversation for you. Mental health struggles are so commonly talked about now that the supporters and family members are often forgotten. We're here to share our story and the reason behind the You Matter Too charity walk.
We've been the support people for someone suffering severe mental illness for most of our lives. And in the hardest times, we've had to be the strong ones. During those times, we didn't know who to talk to, who to call, or how to deal with our emotions.
If you've ever felt like this or know somebody feeling this way, let's reach out to them. Let's let them know they deserve support, acknowledgement and guidance when it comes to their own mental health. They matter too.
Over 14 days in April, Tammy, Andrea, myself and a few close friends will be walking 300 kilometres Port Campbell to Torquay to raise awareness for mental health, support workers and all the people that help during the difficult times.
We are lucky enough to be supported by and supporting an amazing charity, TTS. These guys are a free text and callback service connecting you with the appropriate qualified health professionals. They're ready for a call anytime, any day, even if you are the support person.
We are hoping to raise $10,000 for this event. This money will go towards getting people the help they need when they need it.
If you'd like to get on board by walking with us on our final day or just sharing our story, please do. We're hoping by battling this walk together, talking about it and sharing this story, we'll be able to help family and friends that need the services and support too.
And just on that, folks, you know, we go on about the colourful gear and all that sort of thing, and the boys like to have a bit of fun, but just remember that 50% of what you buy in Trademutt gear goes to TTS, which is the mental health service that's free and sort of focused on trades and blue collar, but open to anyone, and certainly open to the families of those people as well. And Dan and Ed are just so passionate about what they do. You've heard me bang on about it forever and a day, but just keep that in mind, that it's not just about the funky workwear, it's about supporting people with mental health as well. Social media. What is your purpose for being on social media? And have you experienced negatives as a result of being on social media?
Alright, Instagram, what's up? I have been trying to think about how I wanted to do a video, kind of talk about Instagram. I don't know, just get it out there. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like Instagram is like breaking my heart. I used to love being on here. I used to love producing content and talking to people and, you know, just being a part of the Instagram community. But I tell you what, minus the Instagram 1, glitches, 2, hackers, 3, like scammers, I am just finding it overall, I am not getting the fun and the joy out of Instagram that I used to do. Yeah, I started my Instagram to connect with other women. Like, that was my main thing. I was like, this massive network of tradespeople out there I didn't even know existed when I started. And then as my page grew, I started to obviously inspire, I guess, women and help show that I was in the trade. So now that's kind of where it's changed into encouraging women in trade, as well as obviously just documenting my journey, because my journey has been different to what I expected, and just building relationships. It's been amazing to be able to make friends or talk to people, and, you know, also have great experiences with companies that I get to work with. In my opinion, be important sometimes has been really nice. Yes, it comes with negatives. I'm currently just doing some stuff on TikTok, which seems to be a really hard platform.
It's a bizarre platform. If you can work it out, good luck to you.
At the start, the negatives sucked. I really found it hard to not get impacted by them, especially people that would try and pick on my work, pick on the way I looked, or just degrade me as a woman in trade. Was really shocking, but you know, I have a really good support network around me on Instagram in my own life now, and I just, you know, block, delete. People can reply to them if not, and just try really hard to not let it affect me.
I know quite a few and quite large accounts that have taken the road of TikTok to try it out, and they have all said exactly the same thing, that the amount of trolls on TikTok is just out of control, like far beyond anything that they've ever experienced on any other platform. So yeah, if somebody can work out TikTok, good luck to you, because even those, I know of one account, he's got like 1 million followers on TikTok and he has no idea why, and he cannot work it out, so it's a complete mystery. And yeah, unfortunately Instagram's trying to head in the same direction.
Yes. Yeah, it is what it is.
On the topic of social media, do you see a lot of misinformation, e.g. bad practices that are put on display? It's something that's always, I don't know, created a little bit of angst with me.
It's an interesting topic. You do see people doing work they shouldn't be doing, especially if you're a licensed trade and you're seeing somebody do unlicensed work. It can become a little bit of a touchy subject. I think it's just the people that are watching the content need to know what they're watching. They need to know that they're engaging with something that maybe not the best practice. It's a very funny one.
I don't know what the answer is, quite frankly, because you can't stop people from doing it. And then, yeah, it really comes down to, I guess, the consumer understanding that. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people that think what's on social media is gospel.
Oh, God, yes.
So, yeah, it's quite a dangerous practice in my book. And, you know, I see, you know, having had an accident, you know, when I absolutely cringe at some of the things I see. And, you know, I'm just thinking, oh my God, that could have gone wrong so easily. So yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I really don't, but it's something that's there. It's
interesting because they are trying to regulate a lot more, I guess, in the medical industry, or like promotion of like health products and stuff. So I wonder if the platform ever got big enough they'd start trying to regulate something like that. But it'd almost be impossible, really.
Yeah, it would. And of course, there's that many different platforms available as well. So many that we don't even particularly engage in. As an example, my son is absolutely slaying it on what's it called? God, I've gone blank. It's not Switch. Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
He does gaming videos, and yeah, it's just exploded. And yeah, exactly right. It's a completely another world. Now, I get the impression you're a bit of a speed freak. Motorbikes, snow skiing. So where did this passion for speed come from?
God, I don't know. My mum was the first motorbiker in the family, and we all jumped on board, but I was riding motorbikes as a kid. I love roller coasters. I'm just a bit of an adventure. I just love to give everything a go. My garage currently looks like this. I've got a Haisung in here, I've got my brother's CBR Honda, and then I have the V-Star, which we're not allowed to ride at the moment, but I can't wait until we get back out. Snowboarding, the snow is just like the best place in the world, but so far away. I just love the feeling you get from it. Motorbikes, it's
have you been to Japan snowboarding?
I've been to Japan, but not to the snow, which is terrible. Hopefully, maybe in the next couple of years I can actually get back there now the world's opened up again. But yeah, it is just a passion of mine.
Good stuff. Any other hobbies apart from, not that you probably have a lot of time, but
I just like to give everything a go. Obviously, I renovated my house a little bit. A mad love for travel. I'm going to Spain in 2 months to walk.
Tell me about this Spanish adventure.
Yeah, I'm walking from France to Spain over 35 days. So
Now, what logic went into your head about that? Please tell me.
I'm not really sure. It's coming up quite quickly, actually. No, it is actually just it's called a pilgrim walk, and it's just more of a self-reflection journey, I guess. Being stuck in Australia for 2 years, I thought, why not really go all out and decide.
How far is it?
800 k's.
I struggle with 8 metres, folks. 800 k's, my God.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's something that you're going to be able to say that you've experienced that not many people will.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be definitely interesting. I'm not sure. I'm just open to it, and we'll see what happens when I get over there.
You're a baller.
Yes.
How's it going? Have you found it difficult to juggle the schedule that comes along with playing Big V?
Yeah, yes. It's good. It's actually the inaugural season for this club that I'm playing with. So it's been a bit of a learning curve for the club and for myself. Just getting ourselves out there. It has been fun to play again though. I've absolutely loved it, but the commitment for time has been a juggle, especially working. I was on night shift the last couple of weeks, so I train, go straight to work, finish, and then, get up and train and play on the weekends and go to work. So yeah, it's fun though.
This is the reason I don't coach anymore, folks. Don't get me wrong, I loved game day.
Yep.
Absolutely loved it. And the adrenaline that comes along with it, the heart attacks in a close game, all of that, I loved it. But it's the other 20 hours a week of training and game tapes and all of that sort of stuff that goes with it is the reason I'm not doing it. And no, I'm not coming back before you ask again. I get asked every year.
Yes. Oh well, it's a good sport. You can't say no.
Oh, yes, I can.
I said I wasn't ever coming back. I gave it up like 5 years ago, and I'm back.
All right. Australia. What do you love about Australia, and in particular the Bellarine Peninsula area where you're located?
I just love how open our country is. It's beautiful. Our coastline is something you don't see anywhere in the world, and that's why living down where I am, we take it for granted that you can drive 15 minutes down the coast and be on the Great Ocean Road. The hiking, the outdoor adventures, like everything, there's always something to do. It's just a beautiful country.
For any of you interstate folks or even those overseas, if you haven't experienced the Great Ocean Road, it is just stunning, and I would encourage you to go down to Tammy's neck of the woods and check it out, because it's pretty bloody special.
Yeah, riding the motorbikes along something like that is you just have to pinch yourself sometimes. It's beautiful.
All right, just finally, everyone hates this question, and I haven't even got it written down. What do you see for the future?
Well, post-COVID has been a real change, I guess. Trying to build the company now to a place where I can hopefully travel some more on my own, or do something like that, or study, or even, get in and be able to do a bit more women in trade and mental health advocacy and things like that. So yeah, I'm in a bit of a funny place at the moment, just building the business, trying to travel as much as I can, and maybe pick up some study. I'm just open to whatever comes in the next couple of years after being stuck at home or through COVID. We'll see what happens.
It's a different world. It really is, and I think a lot of people are making a lot of adjustments. I think work culture, period, has changed dramatically. I know so many I currently work from home. It's probably more for health reasons than anything else, but I know so many companies now that have completely changed their outlook on working from home because they've realised that it's feasible.
Yes.
And it works.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are also changing their perspective on what they want to do for work, or what they want their life to look like. When you get everything taken away from you for so long, you really want to take the opportunities you can, and that's changed a lot of people's perspective as well, I think.
Yeah, and I think you're right with the travel too. I think there's going to be an awful lot of people jumping on a plane, or in my case, hopefully a boat very soon.
Yes.
it's yeah, we tend to take our freedoms for granted a little bit.
Yeah, I think we did.
And it was a rude awakening to everyone. All right, well, thank you so much for coming down and having a chat, Tammy. This episode will be on both Instagram and YouTube in the new Monday Meetup Raw on YouTube. Thanks very much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next episode.
Thank you.
To celebrate this episode being a Trademutt focused episode, we've got a little deal for you. If you want to pick up some Trademutt, don't forget they've just released the new collection. Use the code Whiskers15 and get 15% off your next purchase. A little gift from the boys. Cheers, folks.